team, not to mention a ball club visiting with a lot of injuries and a makeshift lineup with some unfamiliar faces, but they're doing quite well as well. The D-backs are tied for 5th in runs with guess who? The Nats in the National League. And Gerardo Parra is doing just fine with an 8-game hitting streak, 441 over that time. And this young man's batting 290. He was not even on the radar when the Nats were in Arizona back in May. Colin Ballister on the year, 4th start, opponent's batting average of 245 and a very respectable 3.68 ERA.
Give you the PNC Bank scouting report on him. Not only is he 1-1, but in those 3 starts, he's only given up 2 earned runs in each of those 3 starts. And be aggressive early in the count, with Savion having to throw strikes later.
25-year-old Stephen Drew is now one of the better-known Diamondbacks of the guys that are healthy. We're underway at 7:06, just a few clouds above, 82 degrees, and very little humidity. Drew batting at 270, hits one to Zimmerman, tricky little spin on that ball, and he throws it right on target to Adam Dunn. The Nationals defensively still trying to climb out of the cellar as far as statistically in the National League, but playing much better lately. Ronnie Belliard getting plenty of playing time because of his bat lately, and with Anderson Hernandez now back with the Mets, 1 fewer infielders, so Gonzalez, Harris, and Belliard will be very busy. And these days, Ronnie ends up a lot of games playing first base. Alex Romero, the right fielder.
Well, I also think it's so difficult, Bob, the different lineups that the Nationals have used the entire season. Different one almost every night, you know. So when you're shuttling a new second baseman in there, a new shortstop, or a new outfielder in the corners, or even center field, it's not that easy.
Alex Romero started last season with the Diamondbacks, hit 230, spent most of the year at AAA Tucson, and here he is with the big club this year, hitting 290, and he's on a modest 4-game hitting streak, 7 for 12. There's the changeup that Ray Knight talked about a few minutes ago. Just missing low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Romero's 25 years of age, from Venezuela. The Diamondbacks got him on waivers from Minnesota 2 years ago. A little bit low. Brian O'Nora appears to have a tight zone so far. 13-year veteran behind the plate. Crew chief Jerry Crawford, first base, Phil Kazee, and Tom Hallion. And a good heater by Ballister right in there.
What I meant by be aggressive is so that you don't have to throw a fastball 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. You can throw your out pitches in the dirt, way away, make them chase them.
3-2. The Diamondbacks are hitting just 253 as a team, but they have power, especially with Mark Reynolds and Justin Upton when he's healthy. So they score runs, 496, the exact same number. And under A.J. Hinch, they're 38-42 after Bob Melvin was fired. Melvin was only 12-17. The Nats were actually opening up a 3-game series in Phoenix on May 8th when he was let go and A.J. Hinch brought in with no previous managerial experience at the major league level. 3-2 again. Ballister keeps pumping strikes and Romero keeps fouling them off. Ballister's career record 4-8 in 18 starts with a 5.23 ERA. He finally throws a strike and gets one hit fair. Left center Willingham for the second out.
Well, and before the game, we spoke with Mark Grace and Darren Sutton about the Diamondbacks, and they brought up a great point, which is what we've been talking about. Even when Manny Acta was here and the Nationals weren't playing well, and now they're playing better under Jim Riggleman, you're not just playing for the manager. You're playing for the name on the front of the uniform.
Yep.
And in the major leagues, you're playing for your professional life. So if you're not putting out the numbers, then you're going to lose your job. You're either going to be back in the minor leagues or get traded. And we've seen a lot of that this year.
This is 22-year-old Gerardo Parra, an outfielder, also from Venezuela. He's been a career D-back, signed at the age of 17 5 years ago. And he cracks one out to deep center field. Niger Morgan is under it, and Colin Ballister will get a 1-2-3 top of the first. Next up, the hard-hitting Nats. To fourth in the league in batting average and fifth in runs, Ronnie Belliard is one of the guys who's helped ignite this by going 7 for 15 with 4 RBIs his last 6 games. Yeah, the big guns are always there, but when a team's going well, that means the complimentary guys are getting the job done as well, and Ronnie has fulfilled that. The Nats did not face John Garland when they were in Arizona. This is his third career start against the Montreal-Washington franchise, and most of those were in interleague before, when he spent all those years with the White Sox. Last year with the Angels, when he went 14-8, went to the All-Star game in 05 when he won 18 games. 112 and 99 his career record. Niger Morgan batting .365 as a Nat. He at least shows bunt now almost every at bat. .304 overall for Niger with 123 hits. Slow roller, Augie Ojeda for the first out.
Well, and this is a guy that won 18 games back-to-back years, 05-06. Give you the PNC scouting report on him. 7 losses in his last 10 starts. That's what the D-backs have gotten. He won't go deep into ball games. 277 career starts, only 10 complete games, and 9 wins all season in 22 of Garland's starts. So the D-backs just win 41% of his starts.
Christian Guzman on a 12-game tear. Betting average up to .314, 9th in the league, hitting .471 with 15 RBIs his last 12 games. Off-speed pitch. He'll slap it foul down the left field side. Guzman's also up there in multi-hit games. He's now just 2 behind Miguel Tejada for the league lead with 42. There was an odd stat that came out of yesterday's game. Evidently, yesterday was the first time Christian Guzman had ever walked after having a count of 0-2. 8th inning yesterday. Had never happened before. But in the obscure stat department, he had done it 11 times as a member of the Minnesota Twins. So evidently Guzman's gotten a little less selective as his career's moved along. Now he's worked it back to 2-2.
Our lineup should also know, too, that Garland does not strike out many. In almost 1,800 innings pitched, he's only struck out 910. 577 walks. He's not a power pitcher. He's a control pitcher. Will make all of his starts every year, guaranteed.
Guzman up the middle with a base hit on a 3-2 pitch. And he's about ready to creep into the top 10 in hits in the National League. Morgan and Zimmerman are in there. And for Guzman, his 120th hit. Arizona defensively. Trent Olchen from Australia just called up. Gerardo Parra, Alex Romero. Who are these guys? We know all about the former Virginia Cavalier Mark Reynolds across from Josh Weitzel. Drew and Ojeda up the middle, and Chris Snyder the catcher. Ryan Zimmerman, 17 for his last 36. As locked in as we've ever seen him. Guzman running, pitches low, and the throw is waiting for him. 2 outs. Not even close.
The throw and the tag waiting for him.
And by the way, that's only 5 out of 29 for Snyder this year caught stealing. His pitcher had him set up well.
Well, Garland gets it to home. See the little slide step. Doesn't even really lift the leg. Good throw by Snyder. And he's out.
The Nationals have now stolen 49 bases and been caught 30 times. Breaking ball for a strike to Zimmerman. Ryan's hitting an even 300 now after his 4-hit performance yesterday. 8th in the league in hits and 2nd in runs. And he's busted the top 10 in RBIs. Those are good pitches by Garland.
Well, I think they should take the contract extension back. He's playing too well.
Aren't you supposed to wait till like your 4th or 5th year?
You know, salary drive your last year of the extension. You're supposed to start playing well.
Close enough to be hacking on 1 and 2. And there's a big reason, as we thought it would be when the Nats signed Adam Dunn, how it would benefit Ryan Zimmerman. Let's face it, for 3 years, Ryan has had minimal protection in this lineup. It's a little different having Adam Dunn behind you than guys like Jose Guillen and Dimitri Young. 2-2.
Well, and it's also, you know, the way Adam Dunn approaches it, what Rick Eckstein has done to these hitters, making them accountable for their approach at the plate. And he's a lot more selective. But when he is going bad, though, he will expand his zone, but so do a lot of hitters.
No swing, says Jerry Crawford.
On that particular type pitch, normally Ryan's swinging if he's going bad, but now he's just laying off.
Three-2 with Dunn coming up. Maybe. Yes, he will. More on-base stuff from Ryan Zimmerman. And Adam Dunn had a huge series in Arizona. Dead center. He hit 4 home runs in that series. And overall, Adam Dunn in that series had 6 hits in 13 at-bats with 4 home runs, 5 RBIs. And just for fun, they didn't pitch to him once and he walked. The Nats took 2 out of 3 and came very close to sweeping that series until the D-backs had a 4-run 6th on Sunday to win that game 10-8. And of course, Adam finished the season there last year. They picked him up from Cincinnati. And with the Diamondbacks last year, he hit .243 with 8 homers, 26 RBIs in 44 games. Adam told me today, it was kind of funny. Remember when he and Zimmerman went back-to-back the other night? He said, I've always wanted to swing at the first pitch. I just can't make myself do it. And he said, that time I did, and I just happened to get a meat fastball. And upper deck right field it went. Adam is a notorious first pitch taker, not a swinger. Dunn's hit in 6 straight games, and he's homered in 3 of the last 4. And he pulls it. One hopper. Couldn't be any easier for Josh Weitzel. The Nads get a base hit, a walk, lose a runner at second. No score after 1.
Giveaway, you get to take Adam home, but the neat thing about this is actually
town on it. And we just happen to have both of those up here. We may even mount our Jose Morales card on that. Rob, should we tell him?
Yeah, you can tell the story.
This is interesting, folks. Now here's Mark Reynolds leading off. We'll tell you about Jose's baseball card in a moment. Rob and I vowed that as soon as the Nats got back to 500, in terms of their record with our Jose Morales card, that would be it for Jose. So after they lost their 4th in a row in Pittsburgh Saturday night, and there's Reynolds going high and deep. Has he homered again? He does it for the 34th time this year. He's only 2 behind Albert Pujols for the Major League lead. He strikes out more than anybody in baseball, but when he makes contact, the former UVA player does serious damage.
Well, you'll see the location of this pitch right here. It's up and in, and he just quickly turns on it, gets enough of it. And goodbye, Mr. Rawlings.
Ballister's 4th given up this year. Diamondbacks hit their 121st. Tied with the Cubs coming in. Only the Phillies and Rockies have hit more homers than Arizona. And here's a ball to Chris Snyder.
We can go down 6-0 and we'll still win. That's when you know you're going good.
But anyway, after the Nats lost another game in Pittsburgh and went back to 4-4 with our Jose Morales card, fans were sticking around for fireworks, so I thought it would be fun to toss them a souvenir. I tossed the baseball card out of the booth, and Rob is my witness, it blew back in right to Rob Dibble, who's been in possession of it ever since, and the Nats have gone 5-0.
Yes.
There you have it.
There you have it.
We swear that's true.
That is true. You threw it out the window, and the baseball gods blew it back to me. And I was going to give him a Viking burial on the river there in Pittsburgh, but I didn't have a lighter because I quit smoking, so I saved him.
Good for you.
And he was saved.
5-0. What else can we say?
5-0. What a reprieve.
And a 1-0 deficit tonight doesn't seem like anything after what the Nats have been doing lately. Trent Oltgen is on deck.
Now you just saw Mark Reynolds go grab his bat so he could check the mark on it.
And Ballister battles back for his first strikeout, getting the catcher Chris Snyder.
I mean, players use their bats like you have an expensive or an old antique car. They know every scratch and dent on it. There you see the great breaking ball here. Actually a fastball down and away, but it looks like a cutter.
Trent Oltgen is the 25th player from Australia to play in the major leagues, and the first in Arizona. He was on the 04 Olympics team that won a silver medal in Athens. And he goes up hacking and hits one high in the air and out of play. And after 8 years in the minor leagues, 766 games, 2,600 some at bats, he made his debut yesterday at Pittsburgh, played left field, went 2 for 6, hit a game-tying homer, and stole 2 bases as the Diamondbacks beat the Pirates in 12 innings. 26 years of age from Sydney. And he hits one short left field. Right there's Guzman. 2 outs. Next up will be Josh Weitzel.
So would you say he made the most of his opportunity?
Wow, did he? Or as they would say somewhere out in the country, boy howdy.
Yep, that was very nice.
Weitzel is 0 for his last 7 and 2 for 17. He goes up ripping and hits one foul. 27-year-old infielder from Durham, North Carolina. He's been up with the big club 3 different times this year, and her hero just made a great play. With a Tigers cap on. Who's he rooting for? Isn't Kurt Gibson on their staff? Maybe he's rooting for Kurt Gibson.
Good call.
There's a good baseball man there. And I wonder if does Kurt aspire to manage? There were some who thought he was going to get the job if they got rid of Bob Melvin. And a high fly ball to right field. That's going way out of here. And Ballister's been blasted twice here in the 2nd inning. For Josh Weitzel, his first homer of the year, and only his 2nd big league home run. And that was a no-doubter. Over and above the bullpen.
Once again, too fat, right down the heart of the plate. You saw Will way outside. He set up low and outside, and that one was right down Broadway.
There's Augie Ojeda, the number 8 man.
And you see Will Nieves right there. Come on, line me up, hit the target. Keep missing like that, the balls are going to leave the ballpark.
Half swing, that's trouble, but it goes foul. Augie Ojeda, 34-year-old shortstop. He's been a good spare part for many years for the Cubs, Minnesota, now the D-backs. On a pitch up and in, fouls it straight back 1-2. Arizona has an interesting record. They're 9 games under 500 at home, but they're 26-26 on the road. John Garland, the pitcher, on deck. Let's see how they've done in their own division. 6-6 against Colorado, 7-5 against San Diego, 3-6 against the Giants, 2-6 against the Dodgers. That ball hit hard. Guzman on a skip. Ball got away from him just far enough for Augie Ojeda, who runs well, to get down to first base. And that'll be a base hit. That'll get the pitcher to the plate here in the second.
Well, he just basically puts the ball in play. It was a fastball that he got on the fat of the bat. Nice knockdown by Guzzi, but he couldn't stay with it. And with the quickness of Ojeda, he knew he couldn't throw him out.
Garland 3 for 45 this year, 6 for 64 in his career. Colin Ballister cannot walk this hitter. Pitcher ducking, and John Garland hits the ball extremely hard for his 7th career hit, and the Diamondbacks are hitting Ballister hard here in the second. The Nats' winning streak cannot continue forever unless these young pitchers start getting some people out.
Well, exactly.
I'm talking about the starters.
I agree. This is way too fat of a fastball to a pitcher. You can't just throw it and think it's going to get by. Even John Garland, who's not regarded as a good hitter, and he almost took Collins' head off with that ball back up the middle. And that's what Steve McCaddy wants to talk about. Listen, if the guy hits it that hard, you're doing something wrong, not the hitter.
Top of the order now to Stephen Drew. Nats only got 5 outs out of Craig Stammen yesterday. They got 6 innings out of John Lannon Wednesday, but only 4 1/3 for J.D. Martin Tuesday, after Garrett Mock only pitched 4+ Monday night in Pittsburgh. So the trend for the young starters other than John Lennon, not very good right now. Drew bounced out to Zimmerman to start the game. Breaking ball, and it just hooked foul.
Well, in John Lannon's last outing, he did not have very good stuff, didn't have his best pitches, and he still was able to get through 6 innings and get a W. Bottom line is, if Colin Ballister doesn't have a good changeup or a good curveball tonight, you better start locating something to get you through the order 3 times. You can't just say, okay, I don't have those pitches, I'm going to throw it over the plate. That's not how you pitch at this level. There he goes with a curveball. So it doesn't matter. If you have a bad warm-up, it doesn't matter. It's not like you can say, you know what, I'm not feeling my best today, coach, I can't pitch. You got to pitch.
You're paid to do that.
You're paid to do that, and if you don't have your best stuff, who cares? You got to go pitch and get somebody out.
1-2 now, and Drew jacks one to right field. It is 5-0. 3 home runs in the first 10 batters.
Well, you talk about not being prepared on the day you're starting.
And one of the reasons the Nats had to clear a roster spot and bring in Saul Rivera yesterday was because they're in the midst of this 25 games in a row streak.
Well,
this is game number 23 in that streak, and the bullpen is starting to wear down.
Well, and that's 3 home runs in the last 7 hitters, including a shot back at the box from the pitcher. so he retired the first 3 hitters of the game.
He's gone 2-0 on Romero here. Sharply hit off the glove of Adam Dunn.
Well, he may have to stay out there for a while because the bullpen and the phone's ringing now, but I don't even know who your long guy would be today.
Probably Rivera, you would think. He's the only one out there who hasn't pitched in the last day or two. 9th man to bat in the inning was Gerardo Parra. And the bases were empty with 2 outs after the leadoff homer by Mark Reynolds. Ronnie Belliart's playing deep and from the grass. He throws out Parra. Diamondbacks with a 5-run, 3-homer second inning. Save 43,861 very well-dressed fans saw the Nats win their opener. They had opened up at Philly with an 8-4 loss the week before that when John Lieber beat Livan Hernandez, but they came home after the season already started and got the job done at home. Played great first half of the season and just the opposite the second half, finished at 500. John Garland to Josh Willingham, bottom of the second underway, and quickly 0-2.
Well, just like yesterday.
Here we go again.
Try to whittle away. This is like deja vu.
Or as a former famous resident of this town would say, there you go again.
Okay, Ronnie.
Josh Willingham, a 5-game hitting streak and 11 of 12. And batting .303. Had him reaching on a breaking ball. It's foul. They're going to need every one of those 7.2 tonight, it appears. Willingham, Dukes, and Belliard here in the second. Diamondbacks, by the way, are the second worst defensive team in the league. That ball is scorched to center.
Go.
Plays it into at least 3 bases.
Come on.
Olsen will retrieve it. Pat Lishdash is already holding the runner with nobody out. And that's a bad mistake by an outfielder when you're leading in a ball game, especially with a big lead.
Good call by you, though. This is the second worst fielding team in the big league. And whack, and right by the center fielder. Let's check this out again. This ball is smoked at Parra, and he just, I don't want to say butchers it, but yeah, right by him. He doesn't even get a glove on it, and that's a stand-up triple. What would you say, single with a 2-base error?
I'd give him a 2-base error, and that's what they did.
Well, but he didn't get leather on it.
Error in judgment, I suppose. And here's Dukes, and he takes one low and away. The Diamondbacks have made 90 errors this year. The Nats 99. So there's no telling what might happen with or without gloves this weekend. Parra has made 5 errors in center field now. And Elijah Dukes got the Nats back even with a 1-out 7th-inning homer yesterday against former Nat Brian Sanchez. And then a 4-run 8th inning, and everybody went home smiling into that rush hour traffic.
Well, he had a great day, but he was getting great plate coverage. And hopefully he will continue to get the outside portion of that plate covered, either hitting it to the right side or pulling it, but got to get to him.
It's amazing, Rob, that just after 4:45 yesterday, I've never seen so many people smiling on 395. Dukes will chop one foul, and the count's even 2-2. So the Nats here at home have won 23 games now. Under Jim Riggleman, 11-11. And trying to battle their way back one more time. Ronnie Belliard awaiting here in the second. They've been given 2 bags by the center fielder. And Dukes will reach out and power that ball to right center for a sacrifice fly. Willingham scoring easily. And Elijah Dukes has RBIs in his last 5 plate appearances with a single, sac fly, homer, single, and sac fly. Nats are running like crazy since Niger Morgan got here. The D-backs on the road this year. Danny Herron pitches tomorrow, one of the best ERAs around. And the Nats, lots of runs here, and it's only the 7th of August.
Oh, Ronnie's on fire.
Ronnie Belliard with a base hit, extra bases into the left field corner. And now Ronnie Belliard is 8 for his last 16.
And Wheaton was down the corner kicking the ball around a little bit. But Ronnie didn't go for 3. Stay there, base hit scores you. He just scalds this bad breaking ball right there by Garland. Now watch this down in the corner. It gets a little fun, interesting for 30 seconds or so.
So the Nats are in a position to score another run, but it's the catcher-pitcher combination coming up. Little problem down there for Trent Olchen.
Is that how you call him? Olchen?
Yep.
I like a Wheaton.
You can call him whatever you want, but you're going to have to answer to him. Don't mess with an Aussie, Rob.
Oh, hey. Throw another shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah.
I played with a couple of Aussies, Graham Lloyd and Dave Nilsson. Good people. Drink warm beer, though. I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
They look like they're in motor oil cans, too. The Fosters.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
I'm not sure about the Connecticut guy doing an Aussie accent either, though.
Oi.
That was okay. Keep it simple. And Will Nieves flirts with the right field line. Will had a pretty good little hitting streak going, but now he's only 3 for his last 22. Colin Ballister on deck.
Well, he should have to suck up at least 5 innings to help the bullpen out.
The ideal thing here would be a Nieves base hit to chase Belliard home and then Ballister bunting with Morgan coming up. Nats love to scratch out another run here.
I agree.
Weitzel plays well off the line at first. Ojeda jockeys with the runner Belliard to keep him close, and then retreats about 15 feet to a more normal second base up the middle position.
Like
See, he'll come over by the bag here in between pitches, and then he'll move back to our right near the edge of the dirt.
Well, with Herron going tomorrow, you want to try to come back and win this ball game.
Dan Herron's pitching great.
It could be a long day for the Nats hitters tomorrow.
Nats do not need Nieves to pull the ball here. And the count's 1-2.
Garland is very hittable. He's not a strikeout guy, so you shouldn't be intimidated.
Opponent's batting average 278 coming in.
Almost both sides of the plate. I think one's 279, one's 278. So he's equal opportunity hit giver-upper.
Will Nieves has driven in 15 runs this year. Doesn't walk much. 33 strikeouts, 8 walks. Interesting stat, his last 7 starts, the Nats have won 6 of those games. How about that? And a little chopper. Pitcher has it. 2 outs. Get your family fun pack tickets. Nats D-backs final game of this series on Sunday. You can get a $14 upper right field terrace ticket, a $25 seat downstairs either side of the ballpark, and with each ticket a hot dog, chips, and a non-alcoholic drink. Minimum 2 tickets per purchase. Signature Sunday pregame autographs. Kids run the bases after the game. Nationals.com, 888-632-NATS. And don't forget, come early tomorrow for the Adam Dunn bobblehead. 15,000 of them to be given out. Ballister takes a rip. He has 1 major league RBI. He was 3 for 15 last year with a bat, 1 for 4 this year. It's too bad that Nieves couldn't get on because Ballister's a very good bunter. Holds that bat high and parallel to the ground. And chops it out to short.
Tough play.
Stephen Drew. Ballister was trying to get down there, but Drew got him out. And the Nats settle for a run on the Willingham hit, the Belliard double. 5-1. There in Charlottesville for them, and when they played together, Mark Reynolds was the shortstop and Ryan Zimmerman was the third baseman. And then Reynolds, of course, here at the major league level, a third baseman. He's led the league in errors at that position most of the year. He's settled things down a little bit lately. He has 17, Zimmerman 13. They were outstanding collegiate teammates. Somebody got a souvenir. And by the way, Zimmerman and Reynolds, that in that career, 56 home runs put together. And the second group, pretty good. Evan Longoria and Troy Tulowitzki at Long Beach State. They combined for 43. No contest for Zim and Reynolds. He now has 58 extra base hits, Mark Reynolds does. And that's second only to the 64 of Albert Pujols of St. Louis. Alistair with a good drop on that breaking ball. Maybe a changeup.
That was a changeup.
And it's 1-2. Looked like it went straight down. And you're okay with those kind of changes?
If it's down and unhittable, no problem. But when it's up and it leaves the park, I have a big problem.
Got him. Reynolds strikes out for the major league leading, and this is a significant number with almost 8 weeks left in the season. 150th time.
Well, the 1-2 pitch is another changeup. It's up, but still in the zone enough to get a strike. We'll take it. So will Ballister.
Next up, the catcher, Chris Snyder.
You see him pull down hard on that circle change.
Snyder's out of the University of Houston. He was an All-American there.
Now that's where Garrett Mock went to school, isn't it?
Yep.
Did they play together?
I think Snyder might be
a little older.
He's 28. Okay. Garrett Mock, by the way, pitches tomorrow.
Isn't he 26?
I'll check it out and see what year he was there.
I'll check it.
Trying to call a ball game here, but I'll look it up.
You call the ball game, I'll look it up.
I'm kidding. 0304. Yeah, and Snyder was drafted in 02, so they just missed each other. I love it when you put me on the spot. Snyder.
I have to keep you on your toes.
Sure. That's what it's all about up here. You know, they say, Rob, it's a long season and a small booth. Here's a 2-2 to Snyder. And that is way upstairs. Maybe another changeup.
I think that's a curveball. I think he doesn't have the curve working tonight, and he just doesn't want to even think about throwing it. So.
And Ballister's curve is really his forte.
It is, and it's a touch pitch, and it's a 12-6 break.
Fastball up.
But you got to battle. You can't battle yourself. You got to battle the hitters.
Only thing he hadn't done was walk someone. Snyder's aboard with one out for Trent Olchin, who popped up to Guzman first time up.
And that'll get the bullpen going again.
You know, it's funny when the ballpark's a little quiet. We can actually hear the bullpen phone ring from way up here. Saul Rivera had just gotten up and was getting ready to warm up.
And they set him down.
When Ballister got Parra to ground out, ending that 5-run second. And they're going up swinging early in the count. Olchin, by the way, was hitting .300 with 10 homers and 61 RBIs. And here's what's really impressive in his year at Reno: 27 doubles, 14 triples. Nobody hits 14 triples. How big is that ballpark out there? The ball carries well in that part of the country.
Our shortstop hit 21 in Minnesota in 1 year.
Bouncing him off the turf.
Off that baggy.
And you know what? That's a testament to Guzman's speed, because the gaps at the Metrodome really aren't that big.
Nope. Okay, you're fast. We know you're fast.
0-2 to Olchin. And a bouncer and a good play by Will Nieves to keep the runner at first base.
The hard breaking ball down. You see Will keep the shoulders and everything leaning forward to keep the ball in the front of him. Good job.
1-2. Olsen got called up when Justin Upton went on the DL. They also have Eric Burns out, Connor Jackson, and of course on the pitching side, Brandon Webb. Interesting about the Diamondbacks sort of patching together their lineup right now, but they're playing hard and they're winning ball games. And a 1-2 pitch is hit in the air to right, but Dukes is there. Olsen, at least to this point, will not homer in his first 2 major league games. We've already told you tomorrow night we'll be right back here at 7 o'clock. It'll be Garrett Mock and Dan Herron, J.D. Martin and Yusmeiro Petit on Sunday. Our friends from DC 50 will join us. Finally for the boys, an off day Monday, a 2-game series at Atlanta. Tuesday, Wednesday, then on to Cincinnati for 4. We have them all for you on MASN HD. Josh Weitzel homered first time up tonight. That one, his first of the year and second career homer, made it 2-0.
There's a good breaking ball.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Sometimes you get a couple outs, gives you confidence to try a few things, see if you can get them to work.
Weitzel hits it real hard right at Elijah Dukes. Thank goodness for no elevation on that ball. Middle of the third, 5-1 Arizona.
In his pitching elbow. He's scheduled to have an MRI and he will be reevaluated after the weekend. Right fielder Austin Kearns had tissue removed from his right thumb. He's scheduled to see the doctor on Monday and he'll be reevaluated as well. Outfielder Roger Bernardina had his calendar pushed back a bit after experiencing soreness in his ankle. Now it's common when you break a bone to still have pain even though it's healing. He is still able to throw and hit. He can't run, but he is walking and biking to strengthen his legs. Bob?
Man, Debbie Taylor, thank you. And Debbie will be a guest appearance person on ER next season. My goodness.
I think ER is canceled.
Oh.
Way to watch TV.
Any other medical shows still on?
Yeah, The Doctors.
Okay, should be
Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know. You got to be pretty amazing to get on Grey's Anatomy. That's a foul ball. Caught by Snyder, who thought he might have been in fair territory. I'm just wondering, on a foul tip like that, if the ball stays in the air, what constitutes a foul tip as opposed to a catchable foul ball if it's less than 2 strikes? Guy's not going to bunt with 2 strikes. It's 0-2 now. And Morgan will pull it. Niger retired on a ground ball, first time up. Nice night at the ballpark. Things are hopping out at the Red Loft in the Red Porch tonight. And a nice crowd on hand for the Nationals and the Diamondbacks, although Arizona has quieted this crowd with 3 home runs and a 5-run second inning. That's the Friday night place to be up there now.
The fireworks went off early tonight.
Yes, they did.
Good changeup by Garland there. Strikeout Niger.
His first K. You mentioned he is not
a
strikeout pitcher.
Well, you got to sell it with arm speed. It kind of looked like Garland slowed his arm down, but that's just me. And he gets Niger to bite on it.
I didn't know that while with the White Sox, John Garland appeared on the Bernie Mac show. So he's got TV guy. Here's Guzman, and he goes left side. Guzman, a base hit up the middle, first time up. He's now 25 for 52 during his hitting streak. That is ridiculous hitting at 481. And he's got all night now to get his 43rd multi-hit game of the year. Look at that. And just as impressive, 15 RBIs over that time. 2 weeks ago, he had 24 runs batted in. Now he's looking for number 40. Does anybody have a good batting average on 0-2? 200's probably just about all you can do when you get to that count. Guzman hacks a lot early in the count, doesn't get to 0-2 a lot. Hey, guess who got 3 early at Philadelphia tonight? The reeling Marlins. Ricky Nolasco is pitching against Joe Blanton. Nick Johnson hit his 7th home run up there in Philadelphia. Nick always hit well up there for the Nats. And Cody Ross hit his 19th. Two in the first, a run in the second against Joe Blanton.
He is pesky.
The Marlins are 7 back of those Phillies. The Braves are 7.5 back. And they're at LA against Billingsley later, throwing Jair Jurgens.
I know this won't shock you, but Ichiro Suzuki is 15 for 42 with an 0-2 count, hitting .357.
That's ridiculous.
That's it.
I am surprised. Nobody's that good. That's easy for Parra. 2 outs here in the 3rd. Zimmerman coming up. Heart of the lineup. Look at these guys. Zim, Dunn, Josh. Splitting 16 home runs, 46 RBIs, 37 runs. No coincidence. The team's 9-4. I think Josh could be smiling a little more there, though. The other 2 look pretty happy about it. And here's Ryan, who walked his first time up tonight. And that was a 2-out walk in the first after Guzman singled and was thrown out trying to steal second. He at least got Adam Dunn to the plate, but Adam rolled over a grounder, so Zimmerman trying to do that again. When Ryan was having his long 30-game hitting streak early in the season, his on-base average was up over 400. It's creeping up again to nearly 370. And there are times when you need your number 3 guy to just get on base any way he can. 1-2.
And the king, Albert Pujols, 0-2, only hitting .207. So that makes Ichiro look even better.
That is not human.
Ichiro's crazy. Those are some good numbers in August. 6-11.
They pitch an underhand to him this month?
I guess.
Nobody hits 611 unless you're in the Sunday night doubleheader league down at the park. What did Dimitri used to say? Them's high school numbers.
Those are like Nintendo numbers.
2-2 to Ryan. And a foul tip on a good breaking ball. 2 Ks for Garland in the third. On to the middle innings. Will the Nats be able to battle from behind again? They will have to wait a while to find out. His first, holding his second career. And then after 2 singles by 8 and 9, Stephen Drew his 9th. No! All 5 runs on the long ball. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. Your world delivered. Top of the 4th, Ojeda, Garland, and Drew for the D-backs.
Yeah, Joe Mauer doesn't like to get to 0-2. He's hitting 294. But he's only done that 17 times. He's 5 for 17.
Yeah. How was Joe DiMaggio on 0-2? I bet you can't find that. Hey, folks, that'll keep him occupied for
wow.
No, I love hearing those numbers. That's really interesting when you talk about some of the really good hitters. And the 0-2 to Ojeda, a bouncer.
Well, Hanley Ramirez was 0-97. 0-2.
Yeah. And the reason I just mentioned DiMaggio, you know, Pujols makes you think of him.
Yeah. Guys
who walked a lot more than they struck out. I mean, they made ridiculous contact for the power they possessed. And a ball lined out to center. Right there's Niger Morgan and Augie Ojeda.
And that's a great point you make, because I did research a while back on Joe DiMaggio, and the most times he ever struck out in a season was his rookie year, 39.
Well, that's way under Pujols. I think Albert 1 year struck out 57 times, if I remember correctly.
But he's right there every year now.
That's another planet. Those kind of guys.
He walks about 100 times and strikes out 50.
By the way, Matt Holliday homered again tonight. 4-3 game Pittsburgh hosting St. Louis, and the Pirates got a pounding Chris Carpenter tonight. That's the only other ball game with the Florida Philly game other than this in the National League. Only 3 Eastern Time Zone games in the senior circuit tonight. Mets are at San Diego later behind Oliver Perez. 1-2 Ballister to the pitcher Garland. He's going to pitch him like a regulation hitter this time. Throwing nasty breaking balls and strike him out. His 3rd K of the night. We have notes for you. Carl Pavano to the Twins. It'll be interesting to see how they can be helped. They're 4.5 behind the Tigers and 2.5 behind the White Sox. Jason Giambi let go by the A's today. And John Smoltz already back in Atlanta. The Red Sox have designated him for assignment. Rob, was there some speculation he might go to the bullpen and stay with that team?
No. I mean, there was people speculating, but personally, I didn't think there was any room. I mean, you wouldn't displace anybody. The guys that are in their bullpen do a great job. Got a couple of closers in Saito and Papelbon. Del Carmen's good. Bard's good.
Colin Ballister's getting outs now. Since he gave up that third home run, only one single and a walk the next time through the batting order.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main.
Responsibly. Beautiful night in Nationals Park. Teddy was in the lead until they made the turn in the corner. He would not win, place, or show. Watch the closing kick by the great finisher, Abe. And that's all brought to you by our friends at Geico. Please let Teddy win, she says. In my lifetime, she says. And here's Adam Dunn, bottom of the fourth. Dunn, Willingham, and Dukes in a 5-1 game.
Give Teddy some credit, though. He did try to box out the other three presidents.
He did.
It was a tough race. I think we should give them objects that they can run with. And maybe if Teddy had like a hook or something, he could kind of ride on the back of Abe's coattail and then hook him at the end and win.
I like it.
Reel him in.
I like it.
The way we hooked those fish while they were here. The Marlins.
I would imagine they're not too comfortable with that 3-0 lead. Adam Dunn reaches out and hooks this ball to right center.
Gonna get it.
It's gonna one-hop the wall at the 375 mark, and the Nationals have their second extra base hit of the night. That's how strong that guy is. He reached way out and got around it and has his 23rd double.
Well, you saw how he hooked it in between the outfielders. It's a great job of going out, as Bob said, and getting this pitch. Exmo shows it. He is strong enough just on his arms alone to drive this ball to the base of the wall. And they pick it up and get it back in. Got another double.
So Adam Dunn on the year. 52 extra base hits. That has him in the top 6 in the league. And if you're wondering, no, he has no triples. Here's Josh Willingham. He hit that ball really hard up the middle that Gerardo Parra misplayed into 3 bags first time up. It gave the Nats a run on a Duke sac fly. And even when Belliard followed with a double, they ruled it an unearned run, because the scorer figured that Willingham would not have moved up on the Duke's fly ball had he been at first base where he belonged. 2-0. Milwaukee at Houston underway, a big game in the Central for the wild card race. Then the Boston-New York series is underway for the weekend. No score in the fourth. Willingham with a great take. Wow, that was close. 3-0. Still very early in the ball game, but the Nats need base runners, and it's been a real intelligent at bat for Willingham so far. Garland came in with a rather surprising total of 45 walks, but that's in 137 innings. His strikeout to walk ratio not good because, as Rob mentioned, not a K kind of guy. Only 61 strikeouts on the year.
Change up to a right-hander right there. 3-1.
Kept it away from him.
Away and down.
And Willingham with a base hit. Listash will hold Adam Dunn. Adam had to wait. Even when there's a ball coming up the middle, you want to make sure the line drive gets through. First and third, nobody out. And RBI happy Elijah Dukes coming up.
Well, 3-1, he threw a changeup, so you throw a 3-2, and this is what happens to changeups to righties. Either they leave the ballpark or they're smashed back up the box.
You saw Adam stop just for a moment to make sure the second baseman couldn't get anywhere near that drive.
But that ball is also hit so hard.
Yep.
Call it a scalded dog. It was hit so hard back up the middle. It was a 2-hopper to Parra.
And the Nats now have 5 hits. D-backs have 6. Dukes, as I mentioned earlier after his sac fly in the second, 5 consecutive plate appearances now with an RBI.
Well, and I told you before the game, I mean, Garland, they've lost 7 of his last 10 starts. I don't think he can hold us. I think it's going to be a close game, at least a tie game at one point.
And Dukes rams one to center. That ball takes off.
Nice.
It's over Parra's head.
Go.
2 runs will score. Dukes stops at second. It's 5-3. That ball was scorched.
Pound for pound, this man on this team may have the most talent, and Elijah Dukes just takes a low ball, smokes a line drive. Parra, as Bob said, this is the second worst fielding team in the National League. And 2 runs will come in, and it's a stand-up double for Elijah Dukes. That ball is just tatered right over his head.
It had backspin on it, and it just never came down like Parra thought it would.
I think he broke the bat, too. I think he hit it off the end of the bat.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, the umpire threw it out.
Wow. Now look at that.
He's on fire.
7 RBIs in 6 plate appearances.
He's getting very good plate coverage. And that's what this man needs to do. He's going to see a lot of breaking balls, a lot of slow stuff way away from him. And the more he hits it up the middle and the more he hits it into right center, they're going to stop that. And then he'll crush fastballs in as Ron Vallone gets loose. Now it's a 2-run ball game.
And Ballister's batting spot is only 2 hitters away. Here's Belliard, who doubled down the left field line first time.
And even though Ballister is getting people out there hitting the ball hard the last couple of innings, so if I'm Jim Riggleman and the bullpen is rested enough, might be all for Mr. Ballister. It's a very winnable ball game.
This offense is chugging. Belliard, a bouncer up the middle. That'll advance the runner. Ronnie safe at first. First and third, nobody out. And Ronnie Belliard is 9 for his last 17.
Well, it takes that big hop bob off the plate, and then another hop. That long hop made it a base hit. It's right there. See Stephen Drew spin. Ronnie Belliard still got some good wheels.
He smells the hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Now Ballister is on deck. I guess if Will Nieves hits a 3-run homer or drives in a couple, Ballister stays in, but that could be for show.
No, they may still want him to try to go 5 or 6.
The Nats are definitely back in the ball game, and an RBI here would be huge. Will hit a little chopper. The pitcher handled first time. Will has to make sure he doesn't swing at those breaking balls away, trying to pull it. He's got to drive it somewhere, or at least hit a fly ball deep enough. Dukes has really good speed at third. That'll help. And for that matter, even a double play ball makes it 5-4 here with nobody out.
Well, I talked to Fred McGriff today, and Fred had almost 500 home runs, almost 1,600 RBI, a lifetime .284 average. And I asked him about a guy who's losing his fastball, mainly Smoltz, but just put Garland in there. And he said when a guy doesn't throw it hard enough to throw it by you, it makes it easier for you to hit. And I'll tell you in a second why.
3-0.
Okay, because when a guy throws 95, you got to sit on his fastball because he throws so hard he can throw it by you at any time. So you can't sit there and look for breaking ball. But when a guy can't throw it by you anymore, now you can sit there and still adjust to the fastball and look more breaking balls.
There's some question about the count.
I think it's 2-0.
Scoreboard says 2-0. They had jumped the gun and had ball 3. Here's Nieves now. And Will keeps swinging at those pitches that are right under his hands. And that's not his game.
So you should know that with Garland, he doesn't throw more than 90 miles an hour, 91. He's not going to throw it by you. So you should be able to sit on his breaking ball and his changeup. And I don't think that's why he can't strike guys out. I think guys, he just doesn't get you deep enough in the count.
Will looks like he's trying to hit the ball out of the park.
Wow, that was another changeup. But now, and this is what Willingham did so well, he recognized that changeup, and when he got it 3-2, he drove it right back up the middle.
If Will Nieves gets an RBI here, Ballister probably stays in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh.
The Nats need to be in their no pickoffs offense here. Can't afford something like that. Not with the way the guys are getting hits. 4 in a row here in the 4th inning. That's the same pitch he swung at earlier. Takes it for ball 3. Always curious about a hitter who looks at the third base coach for signs on a 3-2 count.
I think he's looking for help.
He got the if it's a strike swing sign.
Hey, Pat, can you help me here? What do you think? You may throw a 3-2 changeup.
Let's see if Belliard is running on a 3-2 pitch to avoid a double play.
Ooh, look out.
And Ronnie took 1/2 step towards second before Garland pulled the look to third and look at first move. The Nats have 7 base hits against John Garland already. Nobody out in the 4th inning.
He's up to 70 pitches on this next pitch.
Runner holding, and Nieves stays alive. Elijah Dukes, the big blow of the inning, a 2-run double after Dunn's double, a Willingham single. And Elijah went to third on Ronnie Belliard's bouncer up the middle, fielded by Stephen Drew. Belliard was not running on that 3-2 pitch. He's not either here. And Will Nieves hits that ball a long way to center. It is caught by
Ronnie's
Parra.
tagging.
2 runners are tagging. And it's a 5-4 game. Great base running read by Ronnie Belliard. These fans are having fun the way this team's playing the game right now. That'll keep Ballister in the game.
I'm having fun. These guys can come back on anybody. And Ronnie Belliard just pulled a very heads-up veteran move. Watch this ball. It is scalded right here. Will Nieves hits that as hard as he can hit a ball. It's going to go to deep center field. Now watch Ronnie Belliard. Halfway. It's going to be caught. I'm going to go back to first. Tag up because it's so deep. He can tag up now and move into scoring position with 1 out.
Ballister foul tips 1. The Nats have 2 shots with the pitcher and Niger Morgan coming up. Folks, if you're coming to the ballpark tomorrow or Sunday, time your visits to the concession stand while the other team's hitting. You really might miss something.
We're only up 5-0. What? You were worried?
5-4 now.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6-0 yesterday.
Let's not do this every day, though, okay? Two. Ballister looking for his 2nd career RBI.
I just want him to make contact. Put it in play.
He will. Good base running by Belliard, not to get too far off there. And Ronnie's still in scoring position with 2 outs.
Nice try. Get back up the middle. Not bad. Yeah, Niger. You got a job to do right here. 2 out with a big single. Besides, I want to see Ronnie Belliard sprinting home.
Yeah, we'd love to see Niger Morgan sprinting somewhere too. He's 0 for 2 tonight. A ground ball and the strikeout. Morgan's had 8 RBIs as a Nat. Low strike.
Wow.
He's embarking on his 3rd time through the lineup, and it's been a minefield for him.
331.
The Nats, by the way, the 2nd time through, 4 for 9. After going 3 for 8 with a walk the first time. Actually 3 for 7 because there was a sac fly in there.
Remember who started this mess off? It was Adam Dunn with a double.
Yeah,
nice leadoff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice of him to make like a little leadoff guy.
Yep.
Get the bat on the ball.
What a contact hitter he is.
And run hard to second. Everybody chipping in. And sometimes the roles get reversed based on where you are in the lineup. Morgan pulling that low pitch inside. 1-2.
You know who does the most running, I've noticed, on the field is the bat boy, bringing new balls out to the umpire.
Yep. Well, they throw them out now for any reason whatsoever.
True, but we either hit them over the outfield walls or we hit a lot of foul balls. That's fan friendly.
Sounds like contact to me.
Yep.
Well, we can tell the days are getting shorter. Just short of 8:30, night has fallen on our nation's capital. The dome is all lit up. It's a beautiful night here. 82 at game time with very little humidity. Supposed to be in the 90s though tomorrow.
I heard about 99.
Whoa, you're kidding.
I am. 89-90.
We'll be here at 7 o'clock. Morgan takes it up and away. 2-2. Byron and Ray at 6:30. Nats extra. Dan Herron and Garrett Mock. And Rob talked about the importance of winning the night before you face an ace. Oh, Johnny Holiday will be back tomorrow.
Here's Johnny.
2-2 to Morgan. And right field. That ball hanging up for Romero. And on the run, he makes the catch. Morgan 0 for 3, but the Nats generating offense. They get 3 runs on 4 hits, and they're right back in the game. Five to 4, a familiar pattern. What does all this offense do for the pitching staff?
Well, it should give them confidence to not just throw batting practice, but throw strikes, work ahead, try to get ground ball, fly ball outs if you don't have your best stuff. But, you know, giving up 5-6 runs in the first couple of innings, it's tough to chase that lead every day. You're not always going to have great offense, so occasionally you're going to have to throw a shutout.
Alex Romero leading off for the Diamondbacks in the top of the 5th inning. 5 runs on 6 hits, and all of it came in the second. Ballister in the other 3 innings has only allowed 1 walk. So he has a new lease on life in this game. And because his batting spot isn't due up for quite a while, might survive another couple of innings. It's up to him now.
Well, I think, you know, we got on these guys, said, okay, you got to hold yourselves accountable, and a lot of guys are, except for the pitching staff or the starters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old you are, you got to get some outs.
And I, talked to several friends today who are so psyched in this area about what the Nats are doing. And I told them the only thing is the pitching. It's got to get straightened out, and then this will really be fun. Because you can't have your starters going 2 to 3 to 4 innings on a regular basis. Steve McCatty's done a good job of patching things together. The bullpen lately has an ERA of 2.70. And that's during the good streak the Nats are in. And a base hit by Alex Romero. He's 2 for 3.
Well, and that's the problem. I mean, the contending teams right now are facing the issue of pitching. I mean, when you see the Minnesota Twins, who still have an outside shot at the wild card or even win their division, they're farther back in the wild card at 9.5. They got Carl Pavano, who has not even really had a great year. But he's a healthy body. He was available. He cleared waivers. And so the Twins picked him up. But your future cannot just depend on young pitchers. You've got to have experience that can go out without their best stuff and get some outs. Because you're just wasting this offense. This offense is amazing. They've done a great job. They busted their butts, and it's not easy to continually chase the lead.
McCatty now to the mound. We've got trivia for you tonight. There's our old buddy Medwick, the Duck.
fly.
The only player to hit at least one World Series homer for 3 different teams. Well, I know Kirk Gibson's done it for at least 2.
Yeah, for the Tigers and the Dodgers.
Maybe the one with the Dodgers, one of the most famous home runs of all time.
Well, one off Goose Gossage was pretty big. 84 Tigers. That's right, Gibby, you got me. That's right. But it was in the American League. You didn't get me in the National League. He's a great guy, too, though. He's a man's man, the Hunter. Just a good coach, too.
Yeah, Kirk only played in 2 World Series. He did have 3 home runs. 2 for the Tigers against the Padres in '84 when they were just unbeatable. And then the famous homer off Eckersley in Game 1 of the '88 series.
His only at bat of that whole series.
Yeah, he was really hurt.
And you know what motivated him? The announcers. They kept saying he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He was in the training room getting treatment. He jumped off that table, went down, and told Tommy Lasorda, "I can hit."
You know, it's funny. I have that conversation frequently when visiting teams are in here because our telecast is on in their clubhouse.
Really?
And, well, what do you think they're watching? I guess via satellite they could get their own announcer somehow, but usually the home telecast is on in both clubhouses, and you have to think about things you're saying about the other team.
Really?
And evidently Gibby got motivated big time in that playoff scenario. There's a fly ball to left for Josh Willingham. And Parra is gone for the first down here in the 5th inning.
It is true, though. I always enjoyed Vin Scully's telecasts out in L.A. Harry Carey was very funny, the way he made fun of my name all the time.
Did he spell it backwards?
My first appearance ever against the Cubs on WGN. My parents had to see that. So I agree. There's always someone watching these broadcasts, so you should watch what you say.
On a pitch up, Reynolds punishes that ball. When he makes contact, he's amazing.
He's not the biggest guy either.
On balls put in play this year, when he doesn't strike out, and Mark Reynolds is 2 for 3 tonight.
No,
2 for 2. So let me recalculate this. When Mark Reynolds makes contact, he's hitting .457 this year. But he has struck out 150 times. Jim Riggleman giving Colin Ballister all the leeway he could. But here comes Saul on his return to the big leagues. Ladies' night is back A week from next Thursday, for $30, you get access to the Rooftop Happy Hour and a ticket to the 7:05 game against the Rockies. Now, the happy hour starts at 4:30. Complimentary food and drinks, manicures, massages, player appearances, prizes, fresh FM music, dancing, and more. And probably a couple of TV announcers trying to crash the party.
I was going to say, I know it's ladies' night. Can we go? Because I could use a manicure. I'm kidding.
202-675-NATS or nationals.com/ladies' night. Saul Rivera, a very difficult start to the season. 10 games, 0-3, 8.49 ERA. 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, very hittable. Sent down to Syracuse, and here he is back. Against Chris Snyder, who fouls it back, and the count's even 1-1. He posted a 3.55 ERA in 30 games with the Chiefs up in Syracuse. And as far as Saul's major league career, that's pretty much the range of his ERA. 3.4306, 3.6807, 3.9608. In 3 years, he appeared in 215 games with the Nats. 1-1. And when Rivera is going well, he doesn't strike people out. His ball moves, it darts, it dances. And when he's pitching well, hitters cannot center his pitches. You see a lot of little pop-ups and ground balls.
Okay, when he's not going well,
look out. Chuck and duck.
Well, he's got to keep the ball down then. If he's not a strikeout guy, no. We saw that when he was started the season here. You've got to get those breaking balls down, at least so that when they hit it, it goes down and not up.
And we see Saul missing upstairs with fastballs. That's not good. A 3-1 count here. Infield looking for a ground ball right at somebody. Too bad that's not fair. He broke his bat.
Yep.
And that would have taken Snyder forever to get out of the batter's box. When hitters get jammed from the right side, it makes them move back an extra second or so, making the double play much more doable. The 3-2 pitch. Keeping the ball inside on the right-hander. By the way, only 2 Nationals relievers since the team came to Washington have more career holds than Saul Rivera. And that, of course, would be in the Diamondbacks bullpen, John Roush, and the guy the Nats beat yesterday, Luis Ayala. Got him on a check swing and a breaking ball away. And Rivera gets a very big second out.
Well, he was working them in, and all those were hard foul balls, and then he throws a great breaking ball down and away. You see this imaginary plane right there? He breaks it, and that's strike 3. But this batter is just as important here to try to keep it 5-4. Get 2 guys on base, leave them out there.
Trent Olchen, 2 balls in the air tonight, 1 to short, 1 to right. And a good fastball, upper part of the zone, outside corner.
Well, and it had good movement on it. It's not how hard you throw, but if it moves like that, it's a good pitch. Guy goes to center it, he hits it, it's a ground ball.
Rivera in the minor leagues for better than 8 years before he got his 54-game shot with the Nats 3 years ago. Little chopper. It's fair. Will Nieves, well done. And the top of the 5th is over. And Saul Rivera makes a nice return to the major leagues. Kristen Guzman is a big league hitter through and through. 1 for 2 tonight. 30, make it 42 multi-hit games of the year. And then Zimmerman and Dunn. And by Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. What a ball game it's turned into. 5-4, long way to go. 2, 3, and 4. Guzman, Zimmerman, Dunn heading to the plate for the Nats. The Nats will host the 5th annual blood drive tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can park in Nationals Park Garage C. The blood drive takes place in the conference center here at the ballpark, rooms 3 and 4. If you donate, you'll get a unique Nats collectible t-shirt, 2 tickets to an upcoming home game, and the opportunity to win more. Players scheduled to appear, to sign autographs and meet with you donors. www.my-redcross.org. Guzman slaps one foul. He loves to swing at the first pitch.
Well, and if I could throw my 2 cents in on the blood drive, this young man sitting next to me, my son, needed blood transfusions when he was born because he was 3 months premature. My father died of leukemia, which is a blood cancer, and I've always done blood drives. I'm definitely going to go over there and give a pint myself.
Well done.
But yeah, there's always a shortage on blood, so please give and come and get some tickets too.
Good deal. 1-2 to Guzman.
Although they do say my blood is a little sweet.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Sweet blood, eh?
Yep. Sweet.
Well, I know he's your son. And Guzman strikes out off speed pitch. 3rd K of the night for Garland. I know that he's yours after watching him in the press dining room for the last 3 days.
Yeah, he could eat. This is a good changeup right there. You see the selling of that by the fastball motion of his arm, and look at how far away he was from hitting that ball.
And you force a good hitter to finish his swing with one hand off the bat.
Wow, we're giving Garland all he can muster right here.
He's due to bat 3rd in the 6th. If the Nats could do some damage here, they might get him out of the game and get into that Arizona bullpen.
And he looks like he's going really, really slow now. He's throwing a lot more changeups, a lot more breaking balls here.
Yep. Zimmerman 0 for 1 with a walk. Ryan's right up there with Scott Rowland, Ian Stewart of Colorado. Adam Kennedy playing well, getting a second. Yes, and then Moore is on that list. Ryan's defense definitely improved. His hitting off the charts in front of that big fella. 2 balls and a strike to Ryan. That was an 88-mile-an-hour fastball that caught the inside corner. Garland at the age of 29, throwing everything in his repertoire right now. He's 6-10 with a 4.26 ERA.
Well, and it's mind-boggling too. He's only 29, and this is his 278th start.
Yeah,
that's a lot of starts under your belt.
High fly ball. That's out of play. Yeah, 301st career appearance tonight for Garland.
Some career numbers on the young man.
Nats would like to hang loss number 100 on him tonight. 2-2. Good eye.
Wow.
An indication of how well Zimmerman is going is some of the pitches he does not swing at. He drives that ball to right center. See you later. The game is tied. He blasts his way to an 11-game hitting streak with a career-high tying 24th home run.
There's one happy young man, the Ziminator.
RBI number 75.
Well, the pitch before was a breaking ball, and that pitch right there is a breaking ball. And it leaves the yard, but Willingham did a great job recognizing a changeup and then a changeup, and that was a curveball, then a curveball. And that is just pitch recognition at its finest, and I give a lot of credit not just to that young man, but to Rick Eckstein. The approaches he makes these guys have to hitting is phenomenal.
Adam Dunn way inside.
That's worth another look. A bad breaking ball, and that's what happens to bad breaking balls.
Hit that ball about 390 the other way. Where that went over the scoreboard's about the 385 mark, and then it's about 15 feet high. So that thing was flirting with 400 opposite field. He's wearing out Arizona just like Adam Dunn has been doing. Adam doubled last time to get a rally going. That's a great pitch on the inside corner, 2-2.
By the way, that gets Ballister off the hook.
It does.
And I did say this would be a tie game at one point.
Yes, you did. Oh, great one.
Nostradamus. Thank you.
Kreskin Dibble.
I just didn't think this guy could hold us.
Karnak the Magnificent had nothing on you.
I just don't have the same get-ups, you know. He had some nice outfits.
Yeah. Changeup. Dunn identified that, and he takes it 3-2. Diamondbacks bullpen quiet for the moment.
No, I think you see what Saul can do. These guys have been overworked lately.
Oh yeah, they need innings from him. Adam Dunn was ripping on a pitch up and in. So the Nationals homer tonight by Zimmerman. They're 106th. When this homestand started on Tuesday, the Nats had 99. So they've hit 7 home runs on this so far 4-game stand.
I'm going to also give you a little tip when you're in the locker room. Looking at pitchers that didn't throw on a particular day and they're all iced up, that kind of gives you an indication how bad they're hurting.
Who's available and who's not.
Well, yeah, and guys that are just kind of dying. And I've seen a few of our younger pitchers, not only on their arms, all over their bodies.
Yeah.
So they're hurting.
3-2 to Dunn. Oh, he's going to be called out. He's not going to even look back at the umpire.
That's how bad it was.
Adam, I guess, knew it was close and it could have gone either way.
Well, we do want him to swing at pitches, but this ball's down so low. Yeah. That's not a strike, but the umpire can still override that pitch track.
Do you know who that's a strike for? Brandon Webb. but not for John Garland.
Agreed. It's also a strike for maybe Will Nieves, but not Adam Dunn.
Yeah, true. Willingham 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and 2 runs tonight. And Josh is now up to 308. He's had 2 very important hits. If he doesn't hit that ball hard to start the second inning, the Nats may not get on the board for a while. They did when it got by Parra in center, Dukes the sac fly. Then he got the base hit that sent Dunn to third with nobody out in that big inning. That's a good breaking ball. And the count's 1-2.
Well, the last time he saw Willingham, he lived dangerously with those off-speed pitches, and one came right back through there.
And Willingham is gone. The Nats have 3 wins in the last 4 games when they trailed by 3 or more runs. No team in baseball has done that this year except your Nats, who are back even on the Zimmerman homer. Teams. Who's the only player to do it? Is it a former D-back?
Matt Williams.
Matt Williams. For a moment I was thinking maybe Luis Gonzalez, but Matt Williams was a teammate of his.
Louis
on the Arizona team that won it all on the famous Luis Gonzalez hit off Mariano Rivera back in 01. A team that Jerry Colangelo put together with a high payroll, and then sort of like the Florida Marlins a time or two, pretty soon after dismantled that team.
Right? Yep.
They beat St. Louis in 5 in the division series, the Braves in 5 in the LCS, and it went right down to Game 7 against the Yankees. Rivera gets a call in the outside corner to Josh Weitzel, who has killed the ball twice. The low liner he hit to Dukes last time was just as well hit as the home run back in the second. He has just killed it twice. But a new pitcher with different stuff, and a chopper to Zimmerman. Has to let go of it. He does. Adam Dunn gets it. Ryan was up so high it took him a long time to get back down on the ground. And the Nats have turned the momentum of this game around, Rob.
Well, it's just, first of all, it's a great catch right here. Nice elevation. He gets rid of it quickly, but it's a great pick at the end there by Adam Dunn.
Did you notice something about that throw? It was overhand and right on target. We don't see Ryan throw the ball like that very often. Watch him come pretty much over the top with the throw.
Well, he's falling backwards too, but it's a perfect throw. Adam's able to play it because it bounced far enough away from him. But, you know, neither guy has any fear. You got one guy as a former high school football star. He's not afraid of getting hit by the ball. Same thing with Zim. I think Dunn could be a decent first baseman. People need to get off his back, too. That was a good play by Dunn.
Hey, his plus minus is way on the plus side. Remember we talked about that the other day?
Exactly.
If he was a hockey player, you'd want him on the ice. Zimmerman again. An extra hop. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a clinic here in the top of the 6th. Teach your children well who want to play baseball by watching this young man.
Well, see if you can get it by our Zim right here. Here's another tough play. He's got to do a 360, loses control, gets it back, fires a good strike. Watch right here on the transfer, a little bit of trouble on it. Still makes a nice throw.
Here's the pitcher, Garland.
What did we say about it helps the guy being 6'6"?
Easy for Dukes. 5 in a row for Saul Rivera. Dukes, Belliard, and Nieves coming up. Folks are really enjoying themselves. We've had great fans all the whole time, but I'm so happy for them to see them get rewarded with a team playing like this.
Well, and there's been some great effort put in this turnaround, and a lot of the guys now show up at the ballpark and expect to win, and they don't want to be a part of a team that makes a lot of errors, can't come back and win ball games, and it's a good character team now, and that's something I know Manny Acta was trying to build to. And now you got Jim Riggleman's got it going, and all the coaches are all, they're out there today, again, doing infield, doing PFP, stuff like that. So this team has never quit. The fans have never quit on them, and it's nice to see the turnaround. But you have to expect to win every day, and you have to put the effort in every day, and it's there now, and they're playing some really good baseball.
I see some carryover effect, too, from one day to the other, especially when you're falling behind and you keep coming back.
Well, and it's a lot more fun to win. I mean, when you're winning some ball games, you're in some ball games, it's a lot more fun to come to the ball yard. But when you're losing, everybody seems to be right at the time you're supposed to be there, and it's a little bit different attitude. Right now, a lot of fun to show up at the ballpark.
Dukes, sacrifice fly and a 2-run double tonight. He's on an RBI tear that we have not seen him on before. His last 6 plate appearances with 2 sac flies mixed in, 7 batted in. He breaks his bat and hits it in the air to left for Trent Olchin. Bottom of the 6th underway. Belliard next, then Nieves. The Nats warming up a pitcher because it might get down to Saul Rivera's spot in the lineup. That would mean Sean Burnett would pitch against the top of the order in the top of the 7th. Ronnie Belliard to double a base hit tonight. Esmerling Vasquez. They have a 8-man bullpen with 6 right-handers. Their closer is Chad Qualls, who's 21 out of 25 this year in saves. Belliard coming out of his spikes nearly on a 0-1 breaking ball.
He really slows his arm down on those breaking balls and changeups.
And there's Big John Roush, who used to pitch the 8th inning for the Nats over at RFK.
Has he got a big tattoo on his neck?
Oh, he's always had that.
That's pretty cool.
You would like it.
Looks like some kind of Roman.
3.72 ERA for Big John. And Belliard will try to go for an outside pitch and bounce it to Augie Ojeda. And 2 outs here in the 6th. Will Nieves coming up. Will had a big at bat last time. A long battle on a full count before he got the sac fly that put the Nats back to within a run in that 3-run 4th inning. By the way, the Marlins are still getting quite a ball game from Ricky Nolasco. They still lead in the top of the 6th at Philadelphia 3-0. Nick Johnson, Cody Ross, early homers for the Fish, who had designs on going into that series right behind the Phillies. Reynolds makes a good play at third on Will Nieves, and the 6th inning is over. Both teams flashing some gloves. They haven't always done that this year. Tie game into the 7th. Another big RBI night with 3, and the D-backs, Stephen Drew, a 3-run homer after solos by Reynolds and Weitzel in a 5-run 2nd inning, but that's the only inning in which they've scored tonight. To keep it that way, Sean Burnett for the Nats, his 17th appearance, 2.08 the ERA, only 6 hits, 3 runs in 13 innings, and 11 over 5. The strikeout to walk number. And Rob, the trade that Mike Rizzo made got a lot of notice around Major League Baseball. Every time we play a new team at the start of a series, one of the first things they say to us is, we cannot believe your general manager got these 2 players for the 2 players you traded away.
Well, there he is, and it's still unbelievable that he is an interim general manager. He should be the GM of this team. It's been 5 months.
That ball changes directions on Zimmerman, and he still throws the batter out.
Oh, it's all Virginia all the time.
Man,
the 2 Cavaliers going at each other at third base.
They're going to be dancing in the streets in Charlottesville tonight.
This is a great play. Shifts because it's off the end of the bat. Look at that. Look at the spin on that ball. Zimmerman bare hands it. Great stretch right here by Adam Dunn. Nice.
Man,
this is the Exmo. Can't get a grip. He's just going to throw it full hand. Beautiful play.
You come to the ballpark, you never know when a billiards game is going to break out. How about the English on that thing? And then a bunt pulled foul by Alex Romero.
And getting back to Mike Rizzo, I mean, he has weeded out a lot of bad apples from this team and gotten the players that want to play. And he should be the general manager, given a shot to turn this organization into a winner. It's not just what's happened after Jim Riggleman. There was a lot of junk here earlier in the year that he had to get out, get some guys in here that could play, and the Niger Morgan and the Sean Burnett trade was just to put the cherry on top.
Amazing.
But you still have some work to be done, and he knows it.
Romero 2 for 3. This guy's starting to look for real. 30th major league game, hitting .290. And Jason Bergman's been on a roll lately. That could be for Mark Reynolds if he makes it up as the fourth batter here in the seventh.
And I know Mark Grace came in here and echoed what I've been saying for the last month about this Strasburg situation, that I would not be held hostage by Boris and Strasburg and pay this kid any more than he's worth. Because you could go out there and spend that on free agent pitchers to help this team win, and there's no guarantee now. And there's no guarantee Strasburg in the next 3 to 5 years will do that.
And Burnett strikes out Romero 2 down. The Nats bullpen up to its old tricks. Coming into this game over the Nationals' 5-game win streak, 4-0 with an ERA of 2.70. And Rob, opponents only hitting .221 against the pen. Well,
and you see this is a knee-high fastball, as I say, cheese at the knees, unhittable. Romero has no chance. And to get back to the Strasburg thing, I mean, look at Mark Pryor. They gave Mark Pryor all that money.
$13 million, I think.
$13 million, I still think, is one of the highest bonuses ever given out. He's already almost out of baseball at 28 years old. He was released by the Padres, has nothing but injuries. David Price is a .500 pitcher down with the Rays, maybe a star. Phil Hughes is in the bullpen. Luke Hochevar went to Kansas City, not pitching well. You know, there's no guarantee that drafting a pitcher means this guy's going to win Cy Young awards. And does not mean he's a special guy. He's got to prove that at this level. He hasn't even proved it in pro ball.
Kind of base it up the middle for Parra. Interesting decision now for Jim Riggleman. Does he go with Bergman against Reynolds? And Rob, as we mentioned the other day, for folks who might have missed it, Aaron Crow, who the Nats drafted last year and didn't sign, has not signed with Kansas City yet. So he has another summer that's just about gone.
I think Major League Baseball needs to get a grip on this amateur draft deal, because it's gotten out of hand now to where these guys are getting so much money for nothing. They haven't shown anything, and the only thing it's doing is making guys resent them when they get to the big leagues.
I was going to ask you about that. When a #1 pick who has held out for money.
J.D. Drew. Let's just take J.D. Drew.
How do his teammates react toward him?
He's not been liked anywhere he's gone. And in fact, then he gave back $33 million, and the Red Sox paid him $70. And he's doing pretty much nothing offensively, hitting .250, not a lot of home runs up there with the Red Sox. And he got paid $37 million on top of $33 for $70 million up in Boston, after he opted out of his deal in L.A. So
what a country.
Yeah, exactly.
1-2 to Reynolds.
Times are tough. Give the money to the people that deserve it, and that's guys you could bring in here that can help you win.
Burnett against Reynolds, who's 2 for 3 with a homer and a single tonight. He has struck out 150 times this year. And going back beyond the 5-game winning streak, it's been a pretty good recent trend. We're talking about a 2.5-week period here. 2-2 outside.
Well, but what's the starter's ERA and the starter's record over the same period? So it's been hot and cold for both of them. When the starters were going well, the bullpen wasn't. Now the bullpen's going well, the starters aren't.
And July 20th was the first game of the previous homestand against the Mets. Reynolds just got a piece of it. The Nationals lost to Lee Vaughn that night 6-2, but then beat Oliver Perez 4-0 and Mike Pelfrey 3-1. Things have been rolling along pretty well since then. That was right after the Cubs had come in here and swept those 4 games. 3-2 to Reynolds, runner going. That one will drop into right center. Duke's charging, runner to third, and Elijah mishandled it when he first picked it up in his haste to make a throw. First and third, 2 outs, and the catcher Chris Snyder. So Jim Riggleman stayed with Sean Burnett against a dangerous right-handed batter. He's on the middle step of the dugout here. Here he comes. And he has a double switch in mind. The last Nat to bat was Will Nieves, but you usually don't replace your catcher at this time. The man before him, Ronnie Belliard, and Ronnie will leave, and that's where Bergman will be batting on the double switch. Alberto Gonzalez will come in and play second. Bergman and Snyder. The game is often on the line in the 7th inning. This might be one of those times.
Takes a step towards the line and realizes it's going to break towards the middle of the infield. Has to make an adjustment. Has to barehand it. Can't get a grip. Doesn't have time. And he is going to make a perfect strike over to Adam Dunn. So the Coors Light Freeze Cam goes to the man that's not only hitting the cover off the ball, but playing some great D too.
Can we just change the name of the X-Mo to the Zim-Mo? I mean, it seems like he's on there every night. He's an amazing athletic study at third base. Remember him leaving his feet and going parallel to the ground after throwing one yesterday. Here's Chris Snyder at a big juncture in this ball game. Miguel Montero, pardon me, will bat for him as they do switch out their catchers. So A.J. Hinch, who is a catcher himself, he's going for it here. You don't often see a catcher substituted this early in a ball game. It's usually only by necessity.
Been hitting the ball really well, though.
He's going to hit that one well. And Guzman's going to have to throw to first, and Adam Dunn waiting with a tag. That sure looked easy. 7th inning stretch time. Fans have been on their feet several times today. It's a beautiful Friday evening in our nation's capital. First weekend of August, and the Nats are having a blast right now. Everybody having fun. Let's talk about extra, extra. See all about it. And they're raining extra base hits, Rob, in our ballpark tonight.
Well, Ronnie Belliard got it going. Then it was Adam Dunn just getting that one inning going. And Elijah Dukes, thank you, Mr. Parra, by coming in a step. There's a couple of RBIs on an extra base hit. There was Ryan Zimmerman, opposite field home run. That'll get you a lot of total bases, Bob.
So John Garland's out of the game. Miguel Montero working with a new pitcher, and that will be Juan Gutierrez. And he'll be facing Alberto Gonzalez, who will lead off in the 7th, thanks to the Nats double switch. So in 6 innings, Garland gives up 5 runs on 8 hits and could not hold a 5-0 lead. Just like yesterday when Chris Volstad couldn't hold a 6-0 lead against this nasty Nat offense.
And you hit the nail on the head yesterday with grinding out at bats. This team is one of the best I've watched in the last 20 years. It's just grinding out and at bat,
making the other pitcher work to get you out. To borrow another baseball term, not giving at bats away.
Yeah. Well, it just blows my mind because as a former pitcher, you want guys to swing at a pitch that, you know, is close to the plate. Our guys will not.
Alberto Gonzalez has been hitting the ball in the air way too much lately. He got one to bang off the wall yesterday for a couple of RBIs. But Alberto still has some hitting issues he needs to work on. The Nats are trying to go over 500 with Jim Riggleman at the helm tonight. Over 5 runs a game, hitting .275. That would put you in the top 2 in the league.
That right
power
there,
and the ERA needs to come down.
That's got to come down. That is just, you're putting too much pressure on your offense. You got to start getting that ERA down under 4. Because it's still over 5 for the season.
And by the way, Jim lost his fastball years ago. Don't blame him. That's a base hit for Nyjer Morgan, about 30 feet up the line. That was beautiful. He goes 0 for 3, so he says, throw me out if you can.
Well, right here, as you saw, Alberto Gonzalez, he does not know his own game, so he continues to hit the ball in the air. Nyjer Morgan, he knows what his game is. It is a game of speed. Puts the ball down on the carpet, and he gets a base hit.
Next up, Guzman, 1 for 2, 1 for 3 tonight. Guzman has singled up the middle, flied to center, and struck out swinging. Morgan, 34 steals, 15 times caught. But his ratio with the Nats is better. Time given. As a Nat, Morgan is 16 of 21.
It's not bad.
Well, that's 3 out of every 4. Guzman, well placed, up the middle. Morgan's going to third. He is easily in there, and the Nats have runners at the corners. It's another multi-hit game for Christian Guzman. And guess who's coming to bat?
Mr. Cavalier. Well, Christian Guzman just snaps that up the middle. You see Nigel Morgan is going to easily, with that speed, get into third base.
And a chance to take control of the game now. The comeback is complete with the Nats tying the game. Now they're trying to take charge. Zimmerman a walk, a strikeout, and an opposite field solo homer tonight.
You don't want to come this far and not win the ball game.
Those fans behind home plate just look mesmerized by Ryan Zimmerman. They're just staring at him like, is this guy for real?
He's a great player.
And Gutierrez reluctant to get things going here.
And I said this earlier in the year, his work ethic, the way he handles himself on and off the field is Cal Ripken-esque.
Good analogy. And Morgan came about 20 feet down the line. This is always interesting when pitchers, even if they get ahead of a hitter, they try to bury that breaking ball. You're taking a big risk with a runner like this over at third base. It's amazing the pitches he's not swinging at these days. Two and 0.
Wow. He has had a low zone though both ways.
I wondered if Ryan was asking him, was that a swing or a called strike? Let's see if it was a check swing.
No.
Oh, easily that.
No, he called it on the pitch.
That's the second one. Brian O'Nora has seriously missed low tonight. The other one to Dunn, punching him out in the fifth.
But Saul Rivera was in there and he threw a breaking ball low and he called it a strike.
Zimmerman on a pitch that jammed in, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's all you really want as a baseball player is if he's calling it, whether it's good or bad, both ways. Just call it consistently, both ways, gives you a chance.
Adam Dunn on deck, 1 for 3 with a double. 1 out here in the 7th, and runners at the corners. He just fought off a 96-mile-an-hour heater. Gutierrez didn't pitch at all in the big leagues last year. He was a starter at Tucson. He was with the Astros for just 7 games, 3 starts 2 years ago. Obviously has a great arm. Trying to figure out at the age of 26 how to put things together. Zimmerman hits it hard but foul. Look out, folks. Man.
Christmas.
Even his foul balls are scaring the heck out of the opposition. Nigel Morgan with 1 out laid down a perfect third base line bunt. Scampered to third on a bouncer up the middle by Guzman that snuck through. His 33rd multi-hit game. 5-5 game, bottom of the 7th. Arizona led 5-0 after the top of the 2nd. Breaking ball, Ryan pops it up. And not even Nigel Morgan can go on something like that. 2 outs. Well, give Gutierrez credit. He made good pitches. And that was quite a battle with Ryan Zimmerman. Now he has to get Adam Dunn.
He kept going inside, outside, inside, outside. Fastballs, breaking balls. He did his job right there, but still got the big Texan to get out.
Ron Vallone for the 8th. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 spots in the Diamondback order. The infield is all gathered around.
A.J. Hinch.
Pretty sure they're not talking about a bunt here.
No, I think they're just making sure that if the runner goes, they know what's going on. First and third situation.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right.
You know, do you put a play on? Does the shortstop come in, make a catch, try to throw out Nigel Morgan? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that you could do here.
And the flip side of that is, do you want to even attempt something like that and not give Adam Dunn a chance to swing the bat?
No, I think what Montero was told to do is just eat the ball and fake a throw to second and probably see if you could get Nigel Morgan coming off third.
And then if he steals second without another play, they might walk Dunn. Guzman with a short lead. Way inside. I'd be shocked if Adam Dunn sees a fastball in the strike zone here. Unless it's way up just to show it to him, or well outside just to show it to him.
There's a changeup.
And Guzman just walks down to second base.
Good pitch to steal on.
Even in the seventh inning, you can have defensive indifference. Yeah, they're going to walk Adam Dunn by you. That's the risk you run. But then you have another hot hitter coming up in Josh Willingham, though it'll be a right-handed matchup. And the only negative about that play is taking the bat out of Adam Dunn's hands. That is a play, Rob, that you'd almost be more likely to see with one out than with two. Because, in other situations, you have the bases loaded with one out here. So it'll take Josh Willingham to do something big. Josh is 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, we already know he can't hit a grand slam, so that's out. But
he can't?
Yeah, I'm kidding. Facetious. He's really good on the inside fastballs, and that's what this guy was doing. He was jamming up Ryan Zimmerman on that inside heater.
Great speed at third and second. Nasty breaking ball. Mid-80s on that hook.
Yep.
Market at third.
That's tough too when you're looking 95, 96 and he drops that in there. Not easy to pull the trigger.
Fastball jammed him. Base hit. It'll be 2 runs for the Nats. Josh Willingham delivers. 7-5. This team refuses to make the third out in some of these innings.
Well, the same pitch that gave Zim some trouble does not give Willingham the same problems. He always tucks the hands in, a little quicker bat on that fastball in, and he's able to get that ball down in left field and bring in 2 runs.
Here's Elijah Dukes. Great call prior to the pitch, Rob, about Willingham's tendencies as a hitter.
Well, we've been watching him all year. You've watched him for a long time, too, and we've seen how he can get around for some reason on that inside fastball, almost like he's looking for it.
Now back to that 7 runs per game average, huh?
Yep.
Dukes with a half swing. And he'll be thrown out by Stephen Drew. The Nats have another big inning. 3 hits, a walk, 2 runs, and into the 8th inning, 7-5 Washington. Miller Lite Party Nights. We're having one tonight here at the old ballpark. We'll have another one in 2 weeks from now. Scoreboard Pavilion seat, free drink at the bar for a low price. Soda, water, or beer. Come early, pregame music, postgame fireworks. And the way the Nats are going, plenty of fireworks in between the first and last pitches. 888-632-NATS or nationals.com. Willie Harris takes over for Josh Willingham in left. So on the double switch, Harris will lead off the 8th, batting 7th. The Nats pitcher is now batting 5th. And maybe when one more inning goes by, Ronnie Belliard will appear at first base. There might be other changes around. Oh, Belliard's out of the game, pardon me, so it might stay Adam Dunn the rest of the game. Gonzalez in for Belliard last inning.
Better throw.
Showing bunt on a high pitch. Didn't he offer it that? I suppose not. Malone threw Trent Olchin a high breaking ball there. Close, but ball 2. Mike McDougal is starting to stretch in the bullpen. Kind of walking around, not throwing yet. Olchin 0 for 3 tonight. 2 fly balls, a little bouncer in front of the plate. And up the middle. Guzman got it. He did! Out at first!
Oh, this is going to be an argument.
First base coach Lorenzo Bundy not happy about it, and A.J. Hinch quickly out of the dugout. Cannot believe the call of 33-year veteran Jerry Crawford, and he is hot. He's gone. One of Christian Guzman's best plays of the year.
Well, I think A.J. Hinch has a beef here.
And now Jerry Crawford right in his face. Oh, we got a beauty going on here. Jerry Crawford and Ed Montague and Mike Riley are the 3 most senior umpires in baseball. And Jerry Crawford really went right back at A.J. Hinch.
I can tell you by dealing with Jerry Crawford during my career and post-career, he's one of the most respected umpires in the game. Great play right there by Christian Guzman. Let's see if he does get him. I'd have to say no.
Yeah, it looked like he was on the base.
But it's also a bang-bang play, and umpires are taught to listen for the sound of the foot hitting the bag and the ball hitting the glove.
And A.J. Hinch hasn't left the field yet. He's going to go.
Well, it'll cost him more and maybe more time if he comes back out there and starts arguing again.
He's after Brian O'Nora now. Now, Jerry Crawford is the crew chief, so really there's nobody else to go to. And a lost cause anyway.
I can't say that we haven't had our fair share of questionable calls this year.
And according to the Diamondbacks notes, not one player or coach from their team has been ejected this year. Until right now.
Well, they're a well-mannered bunch of guys.
Well, after watching the replay, you can't blame A.J.
No, I can't blame him one bit.
Kurt Gibson in charge of the ball club, and here's Weitzel against Malone. Well, that's why you never give up on a play.
No.
Guzman did
Absolutely.
not. And the Nats may have gotten the gift. The replay indicates they did. But it was a well-played ball by Christian. Weitzel swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We've had a couple of home runs that should have been reversed. One that was reversed.
Isn't it funny how when you're winning some ball games, some of these things turn around?
It's the baseball gods. By the way,
where are these people, by the way?
Jose Morales' facial expressions have not changed. But he's still locked in my bag. He doesn't get out until he gets 10 straight wins.
Okay. And to think we almost gave him a Viking funeral. 2 balls and a strike on the Allegheny River.
I'm all about tradition.
2 balls, 1 strike here. That's a fastball that just misses upstairs, ball 3. Ballpark is still buzzing about what just happened.
But it is still amazing the defense that has been played lately. When you're going well, guys just seem to be on the balls of their feet playing better defense. When you're not, that's when a lot of errors and bad things happen. Man, that's not good.
Well, that call really looms large now with Weitzel walking. Down to the number 8 spot, Augie Ojeda. Byron Kerr, Ray Knight in the yard tonight with Nats Extra coming up after the game, as the Nats were down 5-0 in the second and then started digging. Ryan Zimmerman is 24th of the year in the 5th inning. Ray will break it down, being the outstanding hitter he was. And Dan Herron will be a tough test for the Nats tomorrow against Garrett Mock. Who will be ahead in the series when those guys take the mound tomorrow night? Ron Vallone misses again, and this is the bottom of the order.
Well, he's not finishing. He's holding back a little bit. You got to finish off. Throw through the catcher. Good mechanics here. And definitely get the ball down.
I like it when the pitcher covers his mouth with the glove so that nobody can see him say, okay, I will.
I think my teammate Randy Myers was the funniest about that. He talked to you in his glove in the clubhouse.
Okay. Well, you never know when the media would be working.
It's another thing. He always thought the media were like spying on him.
Oh, I got thrown out of the clubhouse in Cincinnati by him once, among others. He threw us all out.
Well, when it was time to stretch, you had to leave.
Yeah, whatever. 2-0 to Ojeda, 1 for 3 tonight. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Zimmerman robbed him another time. And Ron Vallone gets one in there.
Come on, Ronnie, let it go.
By the way, it's interesting. Over the years since the Nats showed up here and beat the Diamondbacks on the first game in D.C. in 33 years, these teams have played 28 games. The record, 14-14. There's been some lopsided season series. That's a busted bat and a ball that's going to fall into center. 2 on, 1 out. And now down to the number 9 spot in the order.
Well, I don't know why Jorge Sosa's not up.
And Chris Young will be the hitter.
It's not like he's thrown so much he couldn't get an out or two.
Look at the Nationals outscoring the Diamondbacks late over the life of the series.
Well, I think that's going to be it. He's trying to get 5 out of McDougal.
So Chris Young coming in. And I remember 2 years ago when the Diamondbacks beat the Nats 6 out of 7 and swept the series here. Chris Young looked like the next coming of Willie Mays in the outfield. He's batting a .195. Vallone is gone, and it'll be a long save attempt for Mike McDougal tonight. Nationals may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Mike McDougall, Rob Dibble, has 4 saves in a row, but I don't think any of them he had to get 5 outs.
No, but right there he saw the great velocity when he really needed it. Got a ground ball when he really needed it to get out of a huge jam. Did a great double play to get a victory and a save. So this is last night. Manny Ramirez strikeouts. Game over, but right here, 5 outs, meat of the order. It's not going to be an easy one, but they're never easy.
2 years ago, Chris Young broke in with the Diamondbacks, and he was the first rookie in Major League history with 30 homers and 25 steals. And only the second to ever go 30-20. Nomar had done that previously. He steps in as a pinch hitter now, 2 years later, batting a .195. I remember that series when Arizona just came in here and bombed the Nats and swept the series.
The problem is their on-base percentages are so bad that I don't know how much longer you could stick with some of these guys, even though they're hitting a lot of home runs.
And it's kind of interesting that going east and then west in terms of divisional foes, the Marlins and the Diamondbacks have some striking similarities. Some all-or-nothing hitters who hit for lots of power, but don't hit for high average at times. 1-0 to Young. And McDougall's got to reverse this trend of falling behind hitters. Everything missing. Inside and high now for McDougall, 2-0. And without that call at first base, the Diamondbacks would have the bases loaded right now, maybe a run in. Tough moment for a reliever to stick around and have to watch somebody else try to clean up his mess. 3-0. And this is the thing about McDougall. He goes to a lot of long counts on the year. 12 strikeouts, 18 walks.
Well, this is the one guy you don't want to have to throw a couple of fastballs in a row to. And
right. 7 home runs, 28 RBIs for a guy hitting a .195. Bases loaded, not even close.
Nope. I would already have Jorge Sosa up, or anybody who's.
I don't know if Sosa's available. He pitched an inning and 2/3 yesterday,
but
and 2 innings the day before that.
McDougall threw 4 in a row.
Yeah. Until yesterday, got
a day off. So
now he's facing a left-handed hitter in Stephen Drew, who's 1 for 4 with a 3-run homer today. Is a bit of a gift from Brian O'Nora, and Scott Drew looks back at him.
This pitch is way outside, gets a gift on the 98-mile-an-hour heater.
That was a pitch away. Right at Willie Harris. A run will score. The Nats still have the lead. It's 7-6 on a sac fly line drive. The way things were going there, Rob, you'll gladly trade it out for a run.
Oh, most definitely.
1-run game, and Alex Romero coming up. Interesting that first strike call really changed that at bat.
Well, it took a little bit of the heat off of McDougall, and he's able to kind of relax and let one go, and got the fly ball.
Romero 2 for 4 with a pair of base hits. Tying runs at second base. That run charged to Ron Vallone, who's also responsible for the other runner. Hey, why not live on that outside corner? You know, if I'm A.J. Hinch right now and I'm in the clubhouse on the heels of that call he argued, and then saw a couple of these calls, I'm not sure what would be going through my mind? McDougal getting a generous strike zone right now. Little chopper, strike 2.
Well, let's see if he's got that slider in his bag of tricks tonight like he did against Hanley Ramirez a couple of nights ago.
This is when our fans need to get up off their feet and get this third out with our guys here, even though it's only the 8th inning. How many guys can you warm up at once?
Well, if it's tied, it's one guy. If they go ahead, it's another guy. And if it's the same one run down, it's a different guy. So we need 3 guys.
0-2 pitch. He really turned one over, and Nieves had to grab it. 2-2.
Well, when he gets real froggy and he jumps out and he tries to throw it while he's going to first base, that's why the ball runs that far in on the right-hand batter's box. He's got to stay forward, get that momentum towards home plate. That's when he's got his best delivery. And you'll always see Will keep the shoulder in and throw it right to me.
2-2. Now the runners will be moving. Augie Ojeda, good speed at second. Chris Young, good speed at first. Parra on deck in a 1-run game here in the top of the 8th. And McDougal gets a grounder. Guzman to first. The Nats are out of the inning. They got a huge break on the first out and leave 2 runners in a 7-6 game. Ben's E-class attention assists of the game. Usually we'll show you one, but Ryan Zimmerman's had such a great night at third base. Watch and enjoy. Chris Young, batting ninth, stays in and plays center. And then Gerardo Parra goes over to right field. And the new pitcher is 25-year-old Merling Vasquez. He's a rookie who's appeared in 35 games. The Nats saw him a time or two in Arizona. And it'll be Harris, Nieves, and Gonzalez for the Nats in the bottom of the 8th. Willie Harris, and that's a hard sinking fastball for a strike. A little late for that one.
Good changeup.
Yeah,
on that heavy sinker.
That's what I've heard called an overpowering changeup. You're so fooled, you're late for it. And Willie's gone on 3 pitches. Well, you never know what's going to happen at the ballpark from one night to the other. Dan Herron, 5th best ERA in the majors at 2.38. He's 11-6. He's the ace of the Diamondbacks staff, and his strikeout to walk ratio is amazing. Garrett Mott is struggling. Opponents are hitting .381 with runners in scoring position against the 0-4 Mott. He'll try to turn it around. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight with Nats Extra at 6:30 tomorrow night. Dan Herron, 149 strikeouts, 23 walks in 155 innings. You better be swinging because he's not going to walk you. Will Nieves 0 for 2 tonight with a sac fly, his 16th RBI. Jam job, a little bouncer up the middle for Drew. 2 outs. In the series at Arizona, Vasquez pitched a scoreless 8th on Friday. And the Nats got to him for 2 runs in 1 inning on Sunday. 888-632-NATS or Nationals.com. Don't forget, tomorrow night's Adam Dunn bobblehead night. First 15,000 fans through the gates receive a Dunn bobblehead, the first of a 2 bobblehead set that later will be completed by Frank Howard. Here's Alberto, who flied to center first time. They're pitching him high, and he keeps going after it. Now that's more his pitch right there, a low fastball, and the count's even. Play. It's 10 o'clock in our nation's capital. At about 7:30 tonight, the Nats were down 5-0. 2.5 hours later, the picture much brighter, and it's Washington 7-6. We are literally at the top of the bat and the top of the hour. One and 2 to Alberto. Slow roller. Stephen Drew again. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And it's lined up like this. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the D-backs. Zimmerman had popped up. Dunn was walked intentionally, and Josh Willingham made the Diamondbacks pay. His RBIs number 43 and 44, driving in Morgan and Guzman, and that swing is the difference in the game. Our fourth drive of the game. Mike McDougall has 3 more outs to get. He just got 2 really tough ones.
Now these 3 are going to be a little tougher.
Parra, Reynolds, and Montero, 2 lefties around a right-hander. Pat Listash having a little chat with Josh Willingham. And the Nats bullpen is behind another hitter. Not even close. Bullpen empty in terms of the pitching mounds out there. That's a strike and a good running fastball, 2-1. Gerardo Parra 1 for 4 with a base hit last time.
Well, and that wasn't the kind of situation you'd want a young hitter to swing at. Guys struggling with command.
That's true.
Any way you can get on base right here, you're the tying run. But we'll take it.
Left center. That ball's going to plug the gap. Morgan cuts it off, and he will hold him to a single. Speed really helps on defense too. With a lot of center fielders, that would have been 2 bags. Tying runs on, leading off the 9th.
Well, he fell behind 2-0. 2-1, he got a foul off, and then 2-1 had to come back with another high fastball, and Parra just put it in play. Then he almost made a tactical error by trying to get 2.
Mark Reynolds is a fly ball hitter. He's only hit into 6 double plays this year.
Well, that'll help to work ahead.
Reynolds is 3 for 4 tonight. He's hit his 34th homer and driven in his 77th run. The kids from UVA have driven in more than 150 combined this year. Strike 2. Tyler Clippard for a possible save, but McDougall runs out of gas here. And a fly ball to right. Elijah Dukes, 1 out.
Very nice.
McDougall overpowering a big, strong right-handed batter. He'll face lefty, the catcher, Miguel Montero. Strong hitter, 11 homers, 35 RBIs. He was the one man Jason Bergman faced to close out the 7th inning. He got him on a ground ball to short. Bergman and Gutierrez, the pitchers of record.
This guy's got 75 hits and 262 at bats.
The Aussie Trent Olchin waiting. Catcher batting. Nats might be a ground ball away from ending this game.
Heads up.
And the bat flies into the seats right over the home plate end of the Nats dugout. And the hitter's going to go back and get another one, and evidently doesn't care if he gets it back or not.
He probably feels pretty upset that he possibly hurt a fan. And you see that getting loose.
He's not giving it up.
Well, I think the first fan that got hit with the bat should get the bat.
2 balls and a strike to Montero. He drives it foul to left. Seven to 6, the Nats lead in the top of the ninth. 1 on, 1 out, and a 2-2 count. This could be a 30-pitch save unless he gets a twin killing right here. Swing and a miss on a pitch away, 2 outs. McDougal's first strikeout, and the Nats are 1 out away from pulling off another one.
Well, a lot of times when you're a little bit tired, your arm is a little more relaxed. You get better movement. That ball starts on the center of the plate and dives away. Bye-bye. Not even close to hitting that.
Trent Olchin is 0 for 4. He tries to bunt with Zimmerman playing back. Strike 1. Only his second day in the major leagues. 2 for 6 yesterday at Pittsburgh. 0 for 4 tonight.
Well, most of the fans still sitting. May not know there's 2 outs.
$22,674 on a perfect baseball evening. Low and in. Ball 2.
Well, like you said, he's 2 pitches away from 30. I don't know how much more he might have in the tank. You have Clippard ready down in the pen.
And a 2-1 pitch. Driven to right. It'll hit in front of Elijah Dukes, and the tying run's on second base. The next hitter is Josh Weitzel. It looks like Chad Tracy will hit for him. Tracy, a big, strong guy. He's only played in 65 games this year, batting .225. Tracy as a pinch hitter, pretty good, 6 for 16 with 2 homers and 5 ribbies. We were told that Ryan Roberts is not available tonight, so they are really short-handed. Pinch hitters like to be aggressive early in the count, but Tracy is taking, and it's a strike. Chad Tracy, 29-year-old infielder, big and strong. Lots of injuries the last year or so. 2 on, 2 out. And a bouncing ball up the middle. Gonzalez. Was that enough drama for you? The Nats have won 6 in a row. Jim Riggleman is 12 and 11 as the Nats skipper. They beat the Diamondbacks and remain unbeaten on the homestand. More from a happy ballpark in a moment.